Ladies, let's get real for a moment. Have you ever put on an outfit that looked great in the morning? But by the time you've been out for just a few hours, you start feeling that familiar discomfort. It's like a warm, sticky feeling that creeps up on you. And before you know it, you're wishing you could just peel off your clothes like a snake shedding its skin. Well, let me tell you, I've been there more times than I care to admit. Just the other day, I slipped into this gorgeous new blouse I was excited about. It was cute, sleek, and I thought I looked fabulous. But by lunchtime, I was ready to change. I could feel the heat building up, and the worst part, I could smell it. That musty, off-putting scent that made me wish I had chosen something a bit more breathable. But here's the thing. This isn't just a one-off. It's something a lot of us experience more as we get older, and it's all down to the materials our clothes are made of. You see, as we age, our bodies naturally produce more sweat, and if we're wearing clothes that don't allow our skin to breathe, that sweat has nowhere to go. Instead of evaporating, it lingers. And well, when sweat just hangs around, it doesn't stay fresh for long, especially if you're wearing synthetic fabrics like polyester or spandex. These materials are great for staying stretchy and form-fitting, but they trap heat and moisture close to the skin. And when moisture is trapped, it leads to an unpleasant smell. Now, I know we all love those comfy synthetic blends. Heck, they're convenient and they often look great. But I learned the hard way that they're not doing us any favors when it comes to keeping us feeling fresh. The science behind it is simple. Synthetic fabrics don't breathe the way natural fibers like cotton, linen, or even bamboo do. These fabrics allow air to flow, helping our bodies regulate temperature and letting sweat evaporate naturally. So, when you wear clothes made from natural fibers, you're giving your body the freedom to stay cool and fresh. And don't get me wrong. I love a good snug fitted outfit now and then. But when you're older, comfort has to come first. I've found that simply switching out my synthetic tops for cotton ones, especially during the warmer months, has made a world of difference. Plus, cotton is a lot gentler on the skin, which is important as our skin becomes more sensitive with age. It feels more comfortable, it smells better, and it actually allows your body to breathe instead of suffocating under tight, sweat-soaked fabrics. I know. The thought of abandoning those fitted synthetic blouses or stretchy leggings might make you a little hesitant. I get it. I was there. But the payoff is so worth it. The minute I made the switch to breathable, natural fabrics, I started noticing a difference, not just in how I smelled, but how I felt. I felt fresher, cooler, and more comfortable. Plus, it's a lot easier to breathe when you're not wrapped in plastic-like fabrics all day. So here's the deal. If you've been wearing synthetic materials without thinking much about it, maybe it's time to consider giving natural fabrics a go. Cotton, linen, and bamboo aren't just better for your body. They're better for your overall comfort and confidence. And remember, a little fresh air for your skin goes a long way in keeping that musty smell at bay. In fact, I'm now on a personal mission to make breathable fabrics a staple in my wardrobe. No more overheating or trapping sweat. No more feeling self-conscious by the end of the day. Because when you feel comfortable in what you wear, your confidence shines through. All right, ladies. I want to talk about something we all know too well. Tight-fitting clothes. You know the ones that hug you in all the wrong places, but you still wear them because they're cute. They make you feel put together, or maybe they're just the only thing that fits right in your closet. I've been there. But here's the thing. Those super tight clothes we sometimes cling to, They can be a big culprit when it comes to that musty smell we all want to avoid. Let me set the scene. I remember a time, not too long ago, when I insisted on squeezing into this gorgeous pair of skinny jeans. They were the perfect shade of blue, hugged my legs just right, and made me feel like I could take on the world. But as the day wore on, something changed. The comfort factor? Gone. I felt like I was trapped in a pair of denim handcuffs. My skin couldn't breathe, and it was like everything was too tight, too close, and too much. And the worst part, by the end of the day, I had a faint odor lingering around me. It wasn't strong, but it was enough to make me self-conscious. That was when I realized that wearing clothes that are too tight can restrict airflow. And when your skin can't breathe, well, it starts to sweat, a lot. And if that sweat can't escape, it doesn't take long before you start smelling less than fresh. This isn't just an issue with jeans either. Whether it's tight tops, skirts, or even shapewear, anything that compresses your body for hours at a time can lead to trapped moisture and bacteria. And yes, that leads to that unmistakable musty smell. As we age, our skin changes, and so does the way our body reacts to clothing. I've noticed, especially in the summer, that clothes that once felt figure-flattering or stylish can suddenly feel like they're doing me a disservice. The fabric doesn't move with me the way it used to, and that lack of movement creates friction, especially in places like under the arms, along the waistband, or around the thighs. And guess what happens when you combine friction with sweat? You get odor. It's just the way our bodies work. Now, I'm not saying you should give up on wearing what you love. I'm just saying it might be time to think twice before slipping into those too tight clothes. Instead of squeezing yourself into something uncomfortable, why not opt for clothing that's more forgiving? Loose, flowy fabrics are not only more comfortable, but they also allow air to circulate, which is essential when it comes to keeping you fresh. Loose blouses, skirts with a bit of room, and even relaxed pants can be just as stylish, if not more, so than anything skin tight. Plus, when the fabric is looser, it doesn't stick to your skin, and your body has the chance to breathe and regulate temperature. I've found that embracing looser clothing has done wonders for me, especially on those days when I just can't bear the thought of being squeezed into something too constricting. I no longer feel suffocated by my clothes. And more importantly, I no longer have to worry about feeling off halfway through the day. Plus, I've even noticed my skin feels less irritated and more comfortable, especially in areas that used to get rubbed raw by tight-fitting pants or shirts. The key here is finding balance. You don't have to toss out your favorite skinny jeans or bodycon dresses. But if you're constantly tugging at your clothes or feeling trapped in them, maybe it's time to give those looser fits a try. Trust me, you'll still look amazing and feel even better. And the best part? No more musty odors creeping up on you. So here's my advice. Next time you reach for that pair of skin-tight pants or tight-fitting blouse, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this really the best choice today? Because when your clothes are too tight, your skin is working overtime, and that's when the dreaded musty smell can creep in. Choose comfort over restriction, and you'll find that your confidence will soar, along with your freshness. All right, ladies, this next one is a biggie. And I bet some of you are guilty of it. I know I've been. It's the good old habit of neglecting to properly wash and care for our clothes. I'm talking about tossing that top into the laundry basket and forgetting about it until the next time you need it. You might even think, it doesn't smell bad. It still looks clean. But let me tell you, that's a dangerous mindset. When we don't properly wash or care for our clothes, we're leaving behind all the things our bodies produce naturally. Sweat, oils, dead skin cells, and even traces of perfumes and lotions. Over time, these things build up, and without proper washing, they start to cause that musty, sour odor. It might not be noticeable at first, but trust me, once you've been wearing that shirt or those pants for a while, it can hit you out of nowhere. I used to be terrible about this. I'd wear a blouse once, toss it in the laundry pile, and think nothing of it. But after a few wears, I noticed that certain clothes started to smell, especially around the armpits, collar, and waistband. Even if I washed them, that scent sometimes lingered. Turns out I wasn't washing them properly. I wasn't giving my clothes the attention they needed. You see, the fabric can only do so much. It's the cleaning process that's key to maintaining both freshness and the integrity of your clothing. Here's where it gets tricky. Certain fabrics and even certain areas of your clothes need special care. Take your bras, for example. I'll admit, I used to just toss them in the wash with everything else, but that's a recipe for disaster. If you don't wash your bras properly, not only do they lose their shape, but all the sweat and oils from your body get trapped in the fibers. This builds up and can cause that funky, musty smell we're trying to avoid. Now, I'm much more mindful about how I care for my clothes. For bras, I always hand wash them or use a delicate cycle in the laundry machine with a lingerie bag. And instead of tossing them in the dryer, I lay them flat to dry. It takes a little extra time, but it's worth it. I've noticed a huge difference in how fresh my bras smell and how long they last. And the same goes for other clothes. Paying attention to fabric care and not overstuffing the washing machine can make a world of difference in keeping them fresh. But here's the most important part. Don't forget to wash your clothes regularly. Some things, like sweat-soaked workout gear or clothes that have been worn all day, need a wash after every wear. Others, like jackets, can go a little longer. But don't let that blouse sit in the drawer for weeks, thinking it's still fresh. When you wear it again, you'll probably be in for an unpleasant surprise. The same goes for your shoes, by the way. Have you ever thought about how often you wash your shoes? I'm not talking about tossing them in the washing machine, unless they're washable. I mean, how often do you clean the insides of your shoes, especially if you wear them often? Over time, they can start to build up with sweat, oils, and bacteria. If you don't clean them regularly, they can start smelling, no matter how nice they look on the outside. Here's a tip I swear by now. After wearing shoes a few times, I make sure to clean the insides. I sprinkle some baking soda inside, let it sit overnight, and shake it out in the morning. This simple trick helps to absorb odors and moisture. For leather shoes, I use some mild soap and water, followed by air drying. A little maintenance goes a long way in keeping things fresh. I've also realized that some detergents just don't cut it. You know those standard laundry detergents we've been using for years? They can leave behind residues, especially in hot, humid weather. If you've ever noticed that your clothes still don't smell fresh after washing, this might be why. I've switched to a detergent that specifically targets body oils and odors, and the difference is night and day. It doesn't just clean, it neutralizes those tough smells. Plus, it leaves my clothes smelling fresh for days, not just after the wash. And let's not forget about fabric softeners. Now, I love a soft, fresh smell just as much as the next person. But I've learned that some fabric softeners can actually make the odor worse. They coat your clothes with a thin layer of chemicals that trap sweat and oils instead of removing them. If you want your clothes to truly stay fresh, skip the heavy scent boosters and opt for something that gets rid of the grime, not just masks. Ladies, I'm telling you, paying attention to how you wash and care for your clothes isn't just about making them last longer. It's about keeping you fresh and confident every day. Once I started taking extra care with my laundry routine, I noticed the difference in how I felt. No more embarrassing odors. No more being self-conscious when I'm out and about. Just clean, fresh clothes that make me feel my best. All right, ladies, we've covered a lot. But there's one last clothing mistake that can seriously keep that musty scent hanging around. And it's all about wearing clothes that don't breathe or fit properly. I know we all love a good pair of stretchy pants or that snug top we can't resist. But sometimes those clothes are doing more harm than good when it comes to odor and comfort. You see, when we wear clothes that don't fit right, or that don't allow our skin to breathe, we create the perfect environment for odor to build up. Tight, non-breathable fabrics trap heat, sweat, and moisture. That's a recipe for bacteria growth. And if you're dealing with that, your clothes, and you, are going to smell, no matter how often you shower or how much perfume you spritz on. I'll admit I've been guilty of this. You know that feeling when you wear something a little too tight because you want to look cute, but then you start to feel hot and uncomfortable after an hour? That's your body telling you it's not getting enough airflow, whether it's a form-fitting dress, a pair of skinny jeans, or that lovely pair of leggings that just won't stretch quite enough. They might look great, but they aren't helping you feel or smell Vash. And don't even get me started on fabrics. We've all worn synthetic materials that look polished, but they don't let our skin breathe. Polyester, spandex, and nylon might be comfortable, but they trap moisture in a way that makes it harder for your body to regulate temperature. This is especially true in warmer weather, or when you're running errands or spending time outdoors. That trapped sweat and moisture become the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, which, as we know by now, leads to that musty, sour smell. So, what's the solution? First, it's about choosing fabrics that are breathable. Cotton, linen, and bamboo are fantastic for letting your skin breathe and keeping things fresh. These fabrics are natural, lightweight, and they absorb moisture, which is exactly what you need to stay dry and odor-free. I've started paying more attention to the fabrics I choose, and let me tell you, the difference is incredible. I still love a good fitted look, but I'll choose breathable fabrics that move with my body instead of making me feel trapped in my own clothes. Next up is fit. When you're choosing clothes, make sure they fit properly. Tight clothes aren't the only culprits when it comes to odor. Too loose clothes can also lead to issues, especially if they hang in a way that traps sweat in certain areas. A dress that fits just right or pants that aren't too tight around the waist can make a huge difference in how fresh you feel. Plus, they're way more comfortable. I learned that lesson the hard way by wearing too tight jeans that left me feeling overheated and in turn left me smelling less than fresh. Here's a tip that's been a game changer for me. Don't just focus on the outer layer. Underwear is just as important. Ill-fitting or non-breathable underwear can trap sweat and moisture where it shouldn't be. Look for cotton or moisture-wicking fabrics that allow your skin to breathe and prevent that buildup of bacteria. Trust me, when your foundation is comfortable, everything else falls into place. I also make sure to change out my undergarments daily and never rewear them, even if I didn't sweat too much. Another thing I've noticed is that many older women, including myself, tend to forget the importance of the right size. As we age, our bodies change, and that means our wardrobe needs to change too. I used to think, oh, I'll just buy what fits now. But over time, I learned that wearing the right size really matters, not just for comfort, but for odor control. Clothes that are too tight can cause chafing and excess sweating, while clothes that are too loose can lead to friction and moisture buildup. Finding that perfect balance is key. And let's not forget shoes. they're just as important as your clothes when it comes to comfort and odor. I used to wear those cute but non-breathable shoes because they looked great. But after a few hours, I started to notice that my feet didn't smell so cute anymore. That's when I made the switch to shoes made from breathable materials, like leather or canvas. They allow your feet to get the airflow they need, and they don't trap moisture in. It's amazing how such a small change can make such a big difference in both comfort and freshness. Finally, if you live in a hot climate or find yourself getting sweaty throughout the day, it's always a good idea to carry a few items to freshen up. A little pack of freshening wipes, a small bottle of body spray, or a travel-sized deodorant can make a huge difference when you're on the go. I like to keep a set of these essentials in my purse for quick touch-ups, especially after long days out in the sun. So, in conclusion, the next time you're thinking about what to wear, remember, comfort and breathability matter more than you might think. If your clothes aren't letting your body breathe, or if they're too tight, you're going to run into odor issues. Stick to fabrics that let your skin do its thing, and make sure everything fits well. Loose enough for comfort, but snug enough for support. And if something's too tight or uncomfortable, don't be afraid to toss it or donate it to someone who might need it. Trust me, when you feel comfortable and fresh, it shows. Now, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment below, telling me how you keep your clothes fresh and comfy. Trust me, your fellow viewers and myself would love to hear your tips. And if you want more secrets like these, make sure to subscribe to the Savvy Senior channel. Stay fresh, stay fabulous, and let's keep aging like the fine wine. We are not forgotten cheese.